UFC 302 Islam Makhachev vs Dustin Poirier goes down this Saturday, and I'm gonna go through some of the card, not all of it, because I'm not gonna lie, half of these fights I couldn't be bothered about. But let's start straight away with Islam Makhachev vs Dustin Poirier. So I'm gonna have to start off by saying that Poirier has not been looking confident in any of his interviews, whether it's with like Ariel or like the Australian dudes or whatever. I don't know, he just hasn't been looking confident, which could mean that he is a more dangerous fighter because he could come out more reckless, try to throw and just land that KO shot, which could be dangerous for Makhachev because he can get caught. We've seen that in the past with him. He has taken hits, maybe not gone down to all of them, but he can get hit a little bit every now and then. However, even though he's not seeming very confident, he will be extremely motivated for this fight, as it is probably his last chance, because I do think he retires, win or lose, but especially if he loses this one, I think he just calls it quits and lays the gloves down. And I know he really wants the belt on his resume. He really wants to cement himself as a Hall of Famer, which I think it already is, but yeah, I'm sure he would love the belt. And I get it, Islam Makhachev is a near impossible opponent, especially for Dustin Poirier stylistically. He's a minus 600 favorite. Black belt, who give him, brother? We have to check this, brother. He's gonna be expecting that guillotine 100%. I bet he's practiced that. He's been saying he's practiced it sarcastically, but I'm gonna take his word for it. I think he's actually serious about that. I think he actually sees it as a little bit of a threat, because he did get Khabib in that choke, and I call bullshit that, oh, Khabib intentionally went in the thing or whatever. I call bullshit on that, because immediately after the fight, Khabib was saying, oh, that was a tight guillotine. He was being real about it. But yeah, if it goes to the grappling, Dustin has probably been training with Gamrot and maybe even Sarukian, because they're both an American top team. They both train together with Dustin. And in my opinion, Gamrot is a more technical wrestler than Islam is. But yeah, obviously Dustin isn't at that level, but I think it will help him a little bit. I know we didn't see that against Benoit, but I think it's a different type of wrestling, the styles of Benoit and Islam. But yeah, anyways, all that aside, if you are putting money on this fight, definitely put a little bit on Dustin. Do not put anything on Makhachev. I'm gonna say that, I wouldn't advise putting anything on Makhachev because the odds are just insane. If it closed down a little bit, maybe you could consider, but I highly doubt it's going to close down. It'll probably be a minus 350, minus 400 by the time this fight starts. So definitely consider putting something on Dustin, because he's like a minus, no, what is it? He's a plus 450 favorite, or 450 underdog. So you will make some money out of this if he does pull it off. Which is unlikely, but anyone with two hemispheres of brains would go for Islam Makhachev, but I'm gonna go with Dustin Poirier on this one. I think he does connect. I think he's gonna just be a little reckless, and I think he has a very good chance of catching Makhachev. Anyways, moving up the card, we have Strickland versus Costa. So a big part about this fight, they have switched it up to a 5-rounder, which will be very beneficial for Sean Strickland. I think Strickland's gonna get a lot of jabs off on Costa, because Costa is very open to getting hit by jabs. I do think Sean is going to look more technical overall on the feet, but yeah, I do think Costa has some really dangerous kicks, especially for the style of Sean Strickland. His defensive style, I don't know how good it's going to be against the kinds of kicks of Paulo Costa, because he just catches people. I don't know how, but he just manages. His kicks are really good. So I think that can slow down Sean Strickland's movement, and Costa is just going to slow down through the rounds, it being a 5-rounder, just because he's going to get tired. But I think his kicks can definitely slow Strickland down as well. So Costa is going to go for haymakers in this fight. I think he has a very good chance of finishing the fight in the early rounds as well. I think he could get it down in round 2. However, if not, I think he wins a decision. He gets the early rounds, and he might be able to pull off one round in the later part of the fight. So I'm going to go with Costa, either round 2 head kick KO or a 48-47 decision win for him. Moving down the card, we have Kevin Holland versus Michal Oleksiejczuk. So I think Holland will have the advantage in almost every place in this fight. He has a 7-inch reach advantage. He has an insane reach, by the way, for welterweight. And he's moved up now to middleweight. And I also think he has one of the best chins in not only his division, in the entire sport. I think you can compare his chin to Max Holloway to a degree. I also think he will have the speed advantage. I think he's going to put Michal on his heels. I think Michal is going to have to shoot for a takedown here, and I do think Kevin Holland's takedown defense holds up. And I think this stays on the feet, and I think Holland just outlands him. I think Holland will get this done. This will be a relatively easy fight for him. I think he's going to get this done 30-27 decision. Moving down the card, we have Jailton Almeida versus Romanov. So grab your pillows and blankets, boys, because this is a real sleepover fight, you know. But anyway, speaking of blankets, let's just see who out-blankets the other in this fight, because we have two wet blankets fighting each other. However, when it starts on the feet, Almeida has a huge speed advantage. He can dive for the feet really quick. He's also quicker just in the stand-up in general. Both of them are shit strikers, honestly. And Romanov just doesn't have those good, like, fat people rotation type punches. You get what I'm saying? Like, he kind of throws his body into the punches, which doesn't get him that sort of fat rotational energy, which you know, some of the fighters do, especially the KO guys. But yeah, as a conclusion, I do think Almeida, he just shoots in early. I think he gets the takedown. He'll be too quick for Romanov. I think he'll immediately get the takedown, and he'll go into like half guard, and yeah, I think he's going to land a lot of ground and pound, and I think Romanov will start to slow on the midway point of round 2, and I think it's just going to go to a boring decision. I think it's going to be 30-27 Almeida by boring ass decision. The fans are going to leave the arena, and they probably won't, because there's some good fights ahead. But yeah, but that's it. I could not be bothered to go through the entire card, man. It's like 5 in the morning over here. But yeah, I will put my predictions here anyways, so check those out. But yeah, clearly this is a very top heavy card. The bottom of the card is kind of a snoozer. There's some good fights mixed in over there, but yeah, I'm just going to be looking forward to that top part of the card, the last 2 fights especially. I don't even know why I did the 3rd and the 4th fight on the card. Either ways, that's done. So anyway, see you guys in a bit. I don't know what the next video will be that I make, but yeah, see you guys.